Hello student, welcome to my channel The Learn Physics. I have already uploaded the one short video of NCERT chapter 2. Now today I will be discussing the one short video of NCERT chapter 3. Now our discussions are introduction of one dimensional motion, position, path length and displacement, average velocity, average speed, instantaneous velocity, instantaneous speed, velocity time graph, displacement time graph, acceleration time graph, equation of motion for constant acceleration, and finally relative motion. And the NCERT numerical of all topics related to this. Now let's start. We know the motion is change of position of an object with time. To specify the position of an object, we need to use reference point with coordinate axis. It is convenient to use rectangular coordinate axis in which three mutually perpendicular axes known as x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. The point of intersection of these three axes is known as origin, serves as a reference point. The coordinate px, y, z represents the position of the object. Now, to measure time, we position a clock in the coordinate system. The coordinate system along with time is called frame of reference. If one or more coordinate changes, then the object is said to be in motion. Otherwise, the object is at rest with respect to the reference frame. Okay? Now, a distance or path length. The path length traveled by particle is called distance. It is a scalar quantity and its unit is meter. Now, displacement. Displacement is the shortest distance between initial point and final point. In one dimensional motion, if x1 be the initial position and x2 be the final position of an object, then displacement x is equal to displacement equal to x2 minus x1. If x2 greater than x1, then displacement positive. If x2 less than x1, then displacement negative. If x2 equals to x1, then the particle again reaches the same position, then the displacement is 0. Now, difference between displacement and distance. Look at this, path length never be 0, but displacement may be 0. Path length always positive and always increases. Displacement may be positive, negative and may increase or decrease. Displacement is a vector quantity, but distance is a scalar quantity. Okay? Now speed. Speed is the distance divided by time. It is a scalar quantity and its unit is meter per second. Now average speed. Average speed means total distance travel divided by total time taken. Suppose a particle moves s1 distance in time t1 and s2 distance in time t2, then average speed is the total distance traveled divided by total time taken. If s1 by t1 is equal to v1 and s2 by t2 is the v2, then average speed, look at this, then average speed, this equals to, look at this, s1 equals to, look at this, v1 t1, so this becomes v1 t1 plus v2 t2 divided by t1 plus t2. Now this can be written as, look at this, this is the S1 plus S2. Now T1 is equal to, look at this, T1 equal to S1 by V1 and T2 equal to S2 by V2. So this becomes S1 by V1 plus S2 by V2. Okay. Now we have to calculate the average speed in equal time and average speed in equal distance. Look at this, the average speed in equal distance, that is T1 equal to T2 equal to T. If we put the value of T1 equal to T2 equal to T, we get average speed V1 into T plus V2 into T divided by T plus T, that is V1 plus V2 divided by 2. Now average speed in equal distance, that means S1 equal to S2 equal to S. Then average speed becomes, look at this, this is the S plus S divided by, look at this, S by V1 plus this is the S by V2. So look at this, twice S divided by S into 1 by V1 plus 1 by V2. Now S and it cancel out. So this is the 2 V1 V2 divided by V1 plus V2. This is an important relation for speed as well as velocity if the motion in a straight line without changing direction. Okay. Now velocity. Velocity means displacement by time. Suppose initial position of a particle be x1 in time t1 and final position be x2 in time t2. Then velocity v equal to x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. This can be written as delta x by delta t. Look at this, velocity may be positive if x2 greater than x1. Velocity may be negative if x2 less than x1. Velocity may be 0 if x2 equal to x1, that is displacement 0, that is the particle again reaches the initial position. Okay. For one dimensional motion, the vector sign is not required, velocity either positive or negative. Okay. Now difference between velocity and speed. Look at this. Speed means distance by time, where velocity is the displacement by time. Speed is always positive, but velocity may be positive, negative or 0. Now instantaneous velocity. The instantaneous velocity is the limiting value of average velocity when time delta t tending to 0. So instantaneous velocity v is to limit delta t tends to 0. This is the delta x by delta t. This is the dx by dt. Okay. If an object moves with constant velocity, then instantaneous velocity and average velocity will be equal. Now uniform and non-uniform velocity. If the change of position is uniform with respect to time, then it is called uniform velocity, and if it is non-uniform, then it is called non-uniform velocity. Okay. Now a numerical. A particle moves A to B with speed 40 km per hour and B to A with 60 km per hour. Find average speed. Look at this, A to B and B to A same distance. So we apply the average speed for same distance. What is the formula? Average speed for same distance to V1 V2 divided by V1 plus V2. Now look at this, this is the 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 40 plus 60. This is the 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 100. So look at this, 0, 0 cancel out. So this is the 48 kilometer per hour is the average speed in forward and return journey. Okay. The position of an object along x-axis is given by x equals to a plus bt square, where a equal to this, b equal to this. T in second. Find velocity at t equal to 0, at t equal to 2 seconds, and average velocity between t equal to 2 to t equal to 4. Now first of all, look at this. This is the velocity at t equal to 0, that is instantaneous velocity. So look at this here, x equals to a plus bt square. So instantaneous velocity v equal to, this is the dx by dt. So this is the 0 plus b into 2t. So this is the 2bt. Now t equal to 0. So look at this, the instantaneous velocity 2b into 0, that is 0. Now instantaneous velocity at t equal to 2 seconds. Now v equal to 2bt. Now put the value of b and t. So b equals to 2.5 and t equal to 2. So this is the 10 meter per second is the velocity at t equal to 2 seconds. Now we have to calculate the average velocity at t equal to 2 and t equal to 4. Now look at this. This is the average velocity. So this is the x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. x1 means the position at t equal to 2. Look at this. If we put the value t equal to 2, we get x1 equal to a plus b into 2 square. So a plus 4b. This is the x1. So look at this. What is x2? x2 equals to a plus 16b. So this is the a plus b into 4 square minus a plus b into 2 square. This divided by, this is the 4 minus 2. So look at this here, 16b minus 4b, this divided by 2. So this is the 12b by 2, this is the 6b. Now b is equal to 2.5. So this is the b into 2.5. So this is the 15 meter per second is the average velocity between the time interval t equal to 2 to t equal to 4 seconds. Understood? Now next. Look at this. In a straight line path, a particle moves the half of the total path with speed 3 meter per second. Then with 4.5 meter per second, then half time to complete the next half of the journey, and finally 7.5 meter per second. We have to calculate the average speed or average velocity, because the particle moves in a straight line path without changing direction. Here speed and velocity be identical. So look at this. Now this speed and this speed for same time interval, because it is the half time, it is also half time to complete the next half of the journey. So average speed, this is equal to 4.5 plus 7.5 divided by 2. So this is the 6 meter per second, because we know the average speed for equal time is v1 plus v2 by 2. Okay. Now look at this. This half distance moves with 3 meter per second and this half distance moves with 6 meter per second. We know the average speed for equal distance is 2 v1 v2 divided by v1 plus v2. So this is the 2 into 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6. So look at this. This is the 36 by 6. 36 by 6. So this is the 4 meter per second is the average speed or average velocity of the particle. Okay. Next. Now acceleration. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. If initial velocity be u and final velocity be v, then v minus u is the change of velocity. So change of velocity divided by time is the acceleration. Now from this relation we can write v minus u equal to at. So v equal to u plus at. Okay. This is the, look at this. This is the final velocity equal to initial velocity plus acceleration into time. Look at this. If velocity of a particle be v1 in time t1 and v2 in time t2, then acceleration a equal to, look at this is the v2 minus v1 divided t2 minus t1. If v2 greater than v1, then acceleration is positive. If v2 less than v1, then acceleration is negative, called retardation. During retardation, the velocity and acceleration are in opposite direction. If v2 equal to v1, then acceleration is 0. So this can be written as, look at this is the delta v by delta t. Okay? Now, instantaneous acceleration. The instantaneous acceleration is the limiting value of this average velocity when time t delta t tends to 0. That is a equal to limit delta t tends to 0. This is the delta v by delta t. This is known as dv by dt. This is the instantaneous acceleration or acceleration of a particle. Now this can be written as, look at this is the dv by dx and this is the dx by dt. Now dx by dt is the velocity. So look at this, acceleration equal to v dv by dx is the another relation for acceleration or instantaneous acceleration. Okay, now a numerical. That time t equal to ax square bx, where x is the displacement, find acceleration. Now look at this, first of all dt by dx. Look at this here, this is the a into the differentiation of x square is twice x and differentiation of x is 1. So look at this is the dt by dx, this equal to 2ax plus b. Now dt by dx equals to 1 by v. So look at this is the 1 by v equal to 2ax plus b. So v equal to, this is the 2ax plus b to the power minus 1. So look at this is the dv by dx. This is the d dx of 2ax plus b to the power minus 1. So look at this is the minus 1. This is the 2ax plus b to the power minus 2 into 2a. So look at this dv by dx, this equal to minus 2a divided by ax plus b whole square. Now look at this, 2ax plus b equal to 1 by v. So 1 by 2x plus b equal to v. So look at this is the minus 2a v square. Now acceleration a equal to v dv by dx. So this is the minus 2a v cube is the instantaneous acceleration of the particle. Now here negative sign indicate the particle has retardation. Okay, if displacement of a particle x equals to x2 minus x1 is taken along x-axis and time t is taken along y-axis, then it is called a displacement time graph. Now look at this line represents the displacement time graph of a body stationary, because look at this, the position of the body remains same, that is x2 minus x1 is equal to 0. Now look at this graph represents, look at this is represents the positive velocity. Look at this, here displacement increases. This is the initial position x1, this is the final position x2. So look at this, here x2 greater than x1, so this is the positive velocity. Okay, now again look at this represents negative velocity. Look at this, here initial displacement x1 more than the final displacement x2, so this represents negative velocity. Okay, now slope of xt graph, this is the delta x and this is the delta t. So this is the delta x by delta t, this is the v. So slope of xt graph represents velocity. Look at this represents positive velocity, this represents negative velocity, and this represents zero velocity. Understood? Now xt graph for acceleration. Look at this, the xt graph for acceleration. Here, this is the parabolic in nature. Look at this point. Look at this point, the tangent makes an angle theta 1. Now this point, the tangent makes an angle theta 2. Look at this, theta 2 greater than theta 1, that is velocity increases, that means it is the acceleration. Now look at this graph. Look at this graph represents the retardation. Look at this here, this point. Now at this point, the tangent makes an angle theta 1. Okay, now this point, the tangent makes an angle theta 2. Here theta 2 less than theta 1. So velocity decreases. So it is the retardation. Now during retardation, this graph is the displacement time graph, but distance time graph becomes mirror image of this graph if the mirror is placed here. So look at this upward portion represents the distance time graph and this dotted portion represents the displacement time graph. Okay, now look at this is the xt graph. This represents a greater than 0, that is acceleration. Now this graph represents x less than 0 and this graph represents a equal to 0. This graph represents uniform velocity. This graph represents uniform acceleration. Okay, and this graph represents v equal to at. The slope of vt graph tan theta, this equal to v minus u by t. So this is the acceleration. So slope of vt graph represents acceleration. Now area of vt graph, look at this, the area of this portion, if this is the time t, now area equal to this into this is the velocity. Okay, so v into t. Now v equal to x by t into t, so this is the x. Therefore area of vt graph represents the displacement of the particle. Okay, now velocity time graph for retardation, look at this represents the v equal to u minus at. Look at this is the negative slope, so it is the retardation. Now look at this is the vt graph. Now speed time graph. Now speed time graph, in this situation, this is the after 0, this becomes positive. This positive portion is the mirror image of the negative portion of the velocity time graph. Now acceleration time graph, look at this is the time t, this is the acceleration. Look at this is the origin. Now this represents, this is the zero acceleration, this represents positive acceleration and this represents the negative acceleration. Okay, understood? And this represents the increasing acceleration. Okay, now area of acceleration time graph. Suppose look at this is the A and we have to calculate the acceleration time graph during the time interval t. So this is the area of acceleration time graph. So area is equal to, look at this is the A into t. So this is the A means v minus u by t into t. So this is the v minus u. So area of acceleration time graph represents the change of velocity. Okay, look at this, the acceleration time graph of a particle moving along a straight line is shown in figure when the final velocity of the particle becomes initial velocity. Now we know the area of AT graph represents the change of velocity. If v be the final velocity and u be the initial velocity, so this is the change of velocity equal to area of AT graph. Area of AT graph. A perpendicular is drawn on it. This is the positive area, this is the negative area. If this area equal to this area, then area of AT graph becomes 0. Now look at this angle equal to this angle. This is the perpendicular, this is also perpendicular. So look at this triangle and this triangle are similar triangle. If this is the similar triangle, then look at this. This is the 10, so this also 10. This is the 4, so this is the also 4. So at t equal to 8 second, the area of the AT graph becomes 0. Therefore, V minus U equal to 0. Therefore, V equal to U. Okay? Understood? Now next. Now NCERT numerical 3.3. A woman starts from home at 9 am with a speed of 5 km per hour and walks 2.5 km to the office. Now, time taken to cover the 2.5 by 5, so this is the 0.5 hour. That is, at 9:30 she reaches her office. So this is the uniform velocity. So this graph represents the uniform motion. Then up to 5 p.m. the women is at office. So this graph becomes this. Okay. Now this represents this is the 5 p.m. Okay. Again, then he reaches home by auto. The speed of the auto is 25 km per hour. So time taken T2 is equal to 2.5 by 25. So this is the 0.1 hour. 0.1 hour means 6 minutes. Okay. The woman reaches home after 6 minutes. So look at this. This represents, this is the 5.06 p.m. Okay. And this is the 2.5 kilometer. The displacement time graph for the women, this is the uniform motion of 5 km per hour, then stationary, then uniform motion of 25 km per hour. Okay. A drunkard walking in a narrow lane takes 5 steps forward, then 3 steps backward, and so on. Each step 1 meter, and time required to take 1 step is 1 second. We have to calculate the time taken by the drunkard to reach in a pit in front of 13 meters. Look at this. First 5 seconds, the person moves 5 meters. Then 3 seconds, the person moves minus 3 meters. So in 8 seconds, the person moves 2 meters in forward direction. So look at this, the xt graph, this is the, look at that, the xt graph becomes this. Okay, look at this, this is the x, this is the t. So look at this, this is the xt graph. Look at this, this is the 8 second, this is the 16 second, this is the 24 second, this is the 32 second. Now after 8 seconds, the displacement of the person is 2 meters. After 16 seconds, the displacement of the person is 4 meters. After 24 seconds, the displacement of the person is 6 meters. After 32 seconds, the displacement of the person is, look at this, the 8 meters. Now 8 plus 5 is equal to 13. So next 5 seconds, the person fall on the pit. So look at this, this is the 32 plus 5, so this is the 37, and this is the position of the pit at a distance 13 meter, at a distance of 13 meter. Okay, look at this, 8 second 2 meter, 16 second 4 meter, 24 second 6 meter, 32 second 8 meter. Now 8 meter plus 5 meter, then the person moves 8 plus 5, 13 meter. So time required is 32 plus 5, that is the 37 second. Understood? NCERT numerical 3.16. Look at this. This is the xt graph. Now at a given time, look at this. Suppose this is the time t equals to t1. The position of the particle h2. This is the x2 and this is the x1. So at a given time, the person has only one position. So as it has two positions, so it is not possible. Now this graph, this is the VT graph. Look at this. At a time t equal to t1, the particle has a negative velocity as well as positive velocity of same magnitude. So a party can never possess two equal and opposite velocity at a given time. Okay, now look at this. This is the speed never be negative. Now here total path never decreases, total path always increases. Okay, look at this is the xt graph. From a dash to O, the time increases but position remain in same position. So this is the graph of a stationary body. This is the xt graph of a stationary body. Now look at this graph is the xt graph of accelerated motion. So the physical context of this graph, a car initially remain at rest for the time interval a dash to O and then starts with acceleration. Okay, now this is the xt graph of SHM. We know in SHM acceleration is directly proportional to minus x. That is, if x is negative then acceleration is positive. Okay, now we have to calculate the sign of displacement, velocity and acceleration at time 0.3 second. Look at this. Now this is the 0.3 second. Okay, now look at this, consider a very small time. Look at this portion, look at this. So look at this, here position x is negative, so at this point look at this, x negative. Now v, look at this, consider this portion, look at this, at this portion when time t increases the displacement more negative. Displacement more negative means the velocity is negative. Okay, so this is also negative. Now as x negative, so velocity is positive. Okay, now 1.2 second, look at this, 1.2 second, look at this 1.2 second, here something this. Now draw a graph here, look at this, look at this here. Look at this, obviously x is positive, no problem. Now look at this, if time increases, now look at this, the displacement also increases, so velocity is also positive. So look at this is the positive, velocity positive, as displacement positive, so acceleration negative. Okay, now 1.2 second, look at this, minus 1, so somewhere here, look at this, somewhere this position. Okay, 1.2. Look at this, here x is negative. Now velocity, look at this, if we move from here, look at this, so time increases, now displacement also increases, so velocity is positive, and as displacement negative, so acceleration is positive. Understood? Look at this is the xt graph. We have to calculate the maximum average velocity. Now look at this, here change of position more, here change of position least, here change of position more than this. So look at this, here displacement more, look at this, here change of position, that is the distance more, time interval same, so it has greatest speed, greatest speed. Okay, now proof of equation of motion mathematically. Look at this, a particle moves along OX direction with uniform acceleration A with initial velocity u. After the time t, its velocity becomes v. So average velocity v average, this equal to u plus v by 2. Okay, now acceleration A equal to v minus u by t. So look at this, v minus u equal to at, so v equal to u plus at is the equation of velocity. Okay, now displacement s. We know displacement s equals to average velocity into time. So look at this, u plus v by 2 into t. Now u plus at by 2 into t. So look at this, s equal to 2u plus at into t by 2. So this is the ut plus half a t square is the displacement. Now finally v square equal to u square plus 2s. You know s equals to average velocity v plus u by 2 average velocity into time. Now from this equation time t equal to, this is the v plus u by 2 and time t equal to v minus u by a. So this is the v square minus u square by 2a. From this condition v square minus u square equal to 2as. So v square equal to u square plus 2as. Okay. Now stopping distance. Suppose initial velocity of a particle is u and final velocity v equal to 0. If s be the distance covered before coming to rest, then this distance is known as stopping distance. Now we have to relate the relation between initial velocity, retardation and stopping distance. Now we know v square equal to u square minus 2as. So this is the 0 square, this is the u square minus 2as. So 2as, this is the u square. So s equals to u square divided by 2a. Therefore, the stopping distance is directly proportional to the square of initial velocity and inversely proportional to the retardation. So if the initial velocity becomes double, the stopping distance becomes 4 times. If the initial velocity becomes 3 times, the stopping distance becomes 9 times. So bus or car driver should consider the distance in front of him before increase the speed of the car. Okay. When situation demands our immediate action, but it takes some time before we really respond, this time interval is known as reaction time. So reaction time is the time a person takes to observe, think and act. A good driver has very low reaction time. Okay. If tau be the reaction time, then stopping distance s equal to the distance covered in reaction time plus u square divided by 2a. Okay. Now we take an example for this theory. Okay. Now a numerical. The reaction time of a driver is 0.2 second. Initial velocity of the car is 15 meter per second and maximum retardation produced in the car is 6 meter per second square. Find stopping distance. Now look at this. The stopping distance s equal to u into tau plus this is the u square by 2a. Look at this. U means 15 into this is the 0.2 and this is the 15 square divided by 2 into 6. Now look at this. This is the 3 and this is the 2 to 5 divided by 2 into 6. This is the 2 and this is the 75. So this is the 75 by 4. Now this is 3 plus 75 by 4. This is the 21.75 meter. Okay. Understood? Now with the help of calculus we have to prove this relation. Look at this. As the initial velocity of the particle u and final velocity v in time t. So look at this. The boundary condition is at t equal to 0, v equal to u, s equal to 0. At t equal to t, then v equal to v and then s equal to s. This is the boundary condition, and applying this boundary condition we have to prove v equal to u plus at, s equals to ut plus half a t square and v square equal to u square plus 2as. We know acceleration a equal to dv by dt. So from here dv equal to, this is the a dt. Now integrating dv equal to a into dt. Now 0 to t, when t 0 v equal to u and when t equal to v equal to v. Now from this condition, the integration v, this is the limit, and a, this is the t, limit t 0. So look at this here, v minus u equals to at. So v equal to u plus at is the velocity. Okay. Now s equals to ut plus half at square. Look at this, we know v equal to ds by dt. Okay, so this is the u plus at. Now from this condition, ds equal to u into dt plus at into dt. Okay, now integrating. If you integrate it, look at this, this. What is the limit? Look at this, this is the 0 to t, this is the 0 to t. Now when t equal to 0, s also 0. So this is the 0. When t equal to t, s equal to s. This is the s. Okay. Now look at this. This is the s, limit s 0. This is the u t, limit 0 t. Now this is the integration t dt. This is the t square by 2. So look at this, a into t square by 2, limit t 0. Now look at this, from this condition we can write, now from this condition we can write s equal to ut plus half a t square is the equation of displacement. Okay. Now v square equal to u square plus 2s. Look at this, we know acceleration equal to dv by dt, and this becomes v dv by ds. So look at this here, dv equal to, this is the, now here v dv equal to a ds. Now integrating, look at this, integration s0 s. When s0, v equal to u, this is the u. When s equal to s, v equal to v. Look at this, the integration, this is the v square by 2. Now lower limit u, upper limit v. This is the a, this is the s. Okay, 0 s. So this is the v square minus u square by 2. This is the as. So here v square minus u square equal to a 2as. Therefore v square equal to u square plus 2as is the calculus proof for this law. Okay. Now a numerical. Now look at this, the position of a particle along a straight line x equals to alpha t square minus beta t cube when the particle reaches the initial point. When the particle comes to rest, and find time when acceleration 0, that is force acting on the particle is 0, and initial velocity and initial acceleration. Now number 1, when the particle reaches the initial point. When the particle reaches the initial point, the displacement is 0. Now put this equation x equals to 0. So we get, look at this, this is the 0 equal to alpha t square minus beta t cube. Therefore beta t cube equals to alpha t square. Therefore t equals to alpha by beta. Okay. Now next, when the particle comes to rest, that means v equal to 0. Now we differentiate this equation. Look at this, v equal to dx by dt. So look at this, this is the alpha into 2t minus beta into 3t square. Now here v equal to 0. So look at this, 0 equal to 2 alpha t minus 3b t square. So look at this, 3 beta t square, this equals to 2 alpha t. Now t cancel out, so t equal to 2 alpha by 3 beta. Okay, so the particle comes to rest in the time 2 alpha by 3 beta. Okay, find the t when a0. Now we have to calculate acceleration. Now here a equal to, this is the dv by dt. Now look at this, here alpha into 2t, so this equals to alpha into 2 into 1 and minus, look at this, beta into 3 into 2t. So look at this, a equal to 2 alpha minus 6 beta t. Okay. Find t when acceleration 0. Look at this, acceleration 0. So 0 equals to 2 alpha minus 6 beta into t. Therefore t equal to alpha by 3 beta is the time when acceleration becomes 0. Now initial velocity, the velocity when time t equal to 0. If we put here v equal to alpha into 2 into 0 minus beta into 3 into 0 square, this is the 0. So initial velocity is 0. Now initial acceleration, look at this, put t0 at the equation of acceleration. Now a equal to 2 alpha minus 6 beta into t. If t equal to 0, the acceleration equals to 2 alpha. So initial acceleration is equal to 2 alpha. Okay, understood? Next. Now the velocity of a particle in a straight line v equal to t square minus 2t. We have to calculate displacement and distance during the time interval t equal to 0 to t equal to 3. Now first of all, now look at this. Now we have to calculate the displacement. In a one-dimensional motion, look at this, velocity v equal to dx by dt. So look at this, dx by dt equal to t square minus 2t. So look at this is the dx equal to t square dt minus 2t dt. Now integrating this and this. Okay, suppose the particles start at t equal to 0 at the origin. So look at this is the 0, this is the t, this is the 0, this is the t, this is the 0, this is the x. So look at this is the x and this is the t cube by 3 and this is the t0 and this is the 2 t square by 2, this is the t0. So look at this, x equals to 1/3 t cube minus t square is the position of the particle. Okay, now we have to calculate the displacement in the interval t equal to 0 to t equal to 3. For displacement, look at this, at t equal to 0, x is equal to 0. Now at t equal to 3, x equal to, look at this, 3 cube, that is 3 cube 27 by 3, that is 9 minus 3 square. So this is also 0. Okay, so the displacement delta x, this equal to 0. Okay, now distance covered. Look at this, first of all factorize this equals t into t minus 2. Look at this, when t greater than 2, look at this, when t greater than 2, look at this, v equal to positive. Okay, when t less than 2, v is negative. Okay, now distance equal to the distance traveled in 3 seconds minus distance traveled in 2 seconds plus distance traveled in 2 seconds minus distance traveled in 0 seconds. Okay, now look at this, we know when t equal to 0, x equals to 0, when t equal to 3, x equals to 3. Now we have to calculate x equals to 2. Now x2 equal to, look at this is the 1/3 into 2 cube minus 2 square. So look at this is the 8 by 3 minus 4. So this is the minus 4 by 3. Now look at this is the 0 minus plus 4 by 3 and look at this is the minus 4 by 3 minus 0. So look at this, the distance covered is 8 by 3. Okay, understood? Initial velocity of a car is 126 km per hour, that is 35 meter per second, is brought to rest by 200 meter. Find acceleration and time taken to come to rest. Now look at this, u s v known, so this is the v square equal to u square plus 2as. Okay, now here v equal to 0, this is the 35 square and plus 2 into a is the question and s is the 200 meter. So minus 2a, this is the 35 into 35 divided by 400. Okay, So look at this, 3.5 into 3.5 divided by 4. So look at this, A equal to 3.5 into 3.5 divided by 8 is the retardation. Okay, this is almost minus 1.5 meter per second square. Okay, now time to stop the car. Look at this, V equal to U plus AT. Here V0, U equals to 35, A is the minus 1.5 and this is the time t. So look at this, t equal to 35 divided by 1.5. Okay, now we have to prove the equation of motion of constant acceleration with the help of velocity time graph. Look at this, V is represented along vertical axis and time is represented along x-axis. Now this is the origin. If OA equal to U, then the line AB represents the uniform velocity time graph. And the line, look at this, this is the AC, this is theta, this represents the graph of V equal to U plus AT. So at any point on AC represents final velocity. So look at this, suppose P is a point, a perpendicular PQR is drawn on time axis. Look at this is the U, means this is the U, total is V. So this is the V minus U. Okay, therefore PQ equal to V minus U. Now from this graph V minus U equal to AT, so this can be written as A into T. Okay, now first of all we have to prove the V equal to U plus AT. We know the slope of VT graph represents acceleration, so A equal to, this is the tan theta. Now tan theta equal to PQ divided by AQ, where AQ is the time t. Okay, now look at this, PQ equal to V minus U, so this is the V minus U by T, so this equal to A, therefore V minus U equal to AT, therefore V equal to U plus AT is the equation of final velocity in time t. Okay, now we have to prove S equals to ut plus half at square. We know the area of VT graph represents displacement. So look at this area of rectangle represents the distance traveled by body with uniform velocity u in time t. And this graph represents the distance traveled by a body in uniform acceleration a. Total distance, area of OAQR, area of OAQR plus area of triangle APQ. So here area of this rectangle, this is the OA into OR plus this is the half into base means AQ into perpendicular. Area of the triangle equal to base into perpendicular into half. So this is the PQ. Now put the value. This is the U and this is the T plus half AQ. AQ, look at this. AQ means T and PQ means AT. So look at this. This is the UT plus half AT square be the displacement in time T with uniform velocity U and acceleration A. Okay. Now next proof, V square equal to U square plus 2AS. Look at this, we know the displacement S equals to area of the rectangle plus area of the triangle. Now this area plus this area is equal to area of trapezium equal to OAPR. Now look at this. So S equals to area of trapezium means sum of parallel side divided by 2 into distance between them. So look at this. This is the PR plus OA divided by 2 into this is the OR. Now PR equal to V, OA equals to U divided by 2 into OR is the T. Now from this equation, look at this. From this equation T equal to V minus U by A. So look at this. This is the v plus u divided by 2 into v minus u by a. So this is the v square minus u square divided by 2a. This is the s. So from this relation, we can write v square minus u square equal to 2as. Therefore, v square equal to u square plus 2as. Okay, understood? Now look at this, an important numerical. A car moves in a straight line path first with acceleration from initial velocity 0, then with uniform velocity, and finally the same retardation 5 meter per second square and comes to rest. The total time of journey is 25 seconds and average velocity of whole the path is equal to 72 km per hour, that is 20 meter per second. We have to calculate the time during which the car moves with constant velocity. Suppose this time is t. Look at this, the total time is 25. So this time plus this time, this equals to 25 minus t. So the time required to this journey is 25 minus t by 2. Okay. So look at this, the velocity v equal to, this is the 5 into, this is the 25 minus t divided by 2. Okay. This is the velocity. The total distance covered s equal to, this is the average velocity into time of journey. So this is the 20 into 25. So this is the 500 meter. Okay. Now we know the area of VT graph gives the distance covered in a straight line path. So 500 is equal to area of this graph. Now look at this, this is the 25, this is the t. So look at this, this is the 25 plus t divided by 2. Now area of the VT graph means area of the trapezium. Now look at this time 25, this is t. So look at this, sum of parallel side 25 plus t by 2 into, now distance between them. Distance between them is the v. V is the 5 by 2 into 25 minus t. Okay. Now look at this, this is the 500 into 4 divided by 5. This is the 25 plus t into 25 minus t. So look at this, from this relation, this is the 100. So look at this, this is the 400, this equal to 625 minus t square. So look at this, t square equal to 625 minus 400. So this is the 225, that is 15 square. Therefore t equal to 15. So required time for uniform motion is 15 seconds. Understood? Now vertical motion. Look at this, this is the ground. When a body is projected with initial velocity u, then acceleration due to gravity g is acting downward. So velocity of the body decreases, and at the top point, look at this, at the top point v becomes 0. So in each second, the velocity of a body decreased by g. If g equal to 10 meter per second square, 1 second before reaching the maximum height, the velocity becomes, this is the 10 meter second. Now before 2 seconds, its velocity becomes, this is the v equal to 20 meter per second, and before 3 seconds, its velocity becomes v equals to 30 meter per second. Okay. Now equation of vertical motion. Look at this, here during upward motion v equal to u minus g into t, and y equal to, this is the ut minus half g t square, and v square equal to u square minus 2gy for the upward motion. Now for downward motion, this becomes v equals to u plus gt, v square equal to u square plus 2gy, and y equal to, this is the ut plus half g t square. At the top point of the journey, final velocity 0. So time required to reach the top point is called time of ascent. If T1 be the time of ascent, look at this, if capital T1 be the time of ascent, then time of ascent, look at this, then when T equal to T1, V equal to 0. So look at this. Now using this relation we can get, look at this, here 0 equal to U minus G T1, therefore T1 equal to U by G. Okay. So this is the time of ascent. Now we have to calculate the total time of flight. Now total time of flight, in total time of flight the particle again reaches the initial point. So look at this, here displacement y equal to 0. Now using the relation y equals to ut minus half gt square. Now applying this condition, 0 is equal to u capital T minus half g t square. So look at this, this is the half g t square equal to u into t. Therefore t equal to 2u by g is the total time of flight. Okay. Now time of descent. Look at this, the time of ascent plus time of descent, this means total time of flight. So look at this, the time of descent T2 equal to T minus time of ascent. So this is the 2u by g minus u by g. So this is also u by g. So here time of descent is equal to time of ascent. Understood? Now next. Now we have to calculate the maximum height. At the maximum height v equal to 0. So look at this, when y is equal to maximum height, v equal to 0. Now using the relation v square equal to u square minus 2gy, we get this is the 0 square, this is the u square minus 2g capital H. So look at this, h equal to u square divided by 2g. Okay. Now a player throws a ball with a speed of 29.4 meter per second in upward direction. Now acceleration due to gravity 9.8 meter per second square. What is the acceleration due to gravity? Obviously this is downward. What is the velocity and acceleration at the top point of the journey? You know, at the top point of the journey particle is rest. So velocity 0 and acceleration is 9.8 meter per second square in the downward direction. Okay. Now look at this. Consider the highest point. This is the origin and this direction is the positive direction of x-axis. So look at this, during upward motion the direction of velocity along this direction. Okay. The displacement is below the origin. So look at this, during upward motion this is the negative, x this is the positive because x below the origin. Below the origin is positive. Acceleration, look at this is the downward direction, this is also positive. Okay, during upward motion, and during downward motion all are positive, a positive, v positive and x also positive. Okay, understood? Next we have to calculate the maximum height and total time of flight. Now look at this, the maximum height h equal to, this is the u square by 2g. So look at this is the 29.4 whole square divided by 2 into 9.8. So look at this, h equal to 29.4 into 29.4 divided by 2 into 9.8. So look at it, this is the 3. So look at this is the 29.4 divided by 2 into 3. So look at this is the 14.7. So 14.7 into 3. So look at this is the 44.1 meter is the height ascent by the ball. Now total time of flight, look at this, total time of flight, this is the 2u by g. So 2 into 29.4 divided by 9.8. So this is the 6 second. Okay, understood? Look at this, a ball is dropped at a height of 90 meter and after collision with the ground the ball loses 1/10 of its velocity. We have to draw the velocity time graph. If t be the time of fall, then y is equal to half g t square. So look at this, this is the 90, and now this is the half into this is the 10 into t square. So look at this, t square equals to 18, therefore t equals to 3 root 2 second. Okay, so this is the 4.2 second. Okay, if v1 be the velocity of the ball just before reaching the ground, then look at this, v1 square equal to 0 square plus 2gy. So look at this, v1 equal to root under of 2 into 10 into 90. Okay, so look at this, this is the 3 root 2 into 10. So this is the 30 root 2, that is 42 meter per second. Okay, after collision, the velocity of the ball v2 equal to, this is the 9 by 10 into 42 meter per second. So this is the, look at this, this is the 4.2 into 9, so this is the 0.8, and this is the 37.8 meter per second. Okay, now time of ascent t2 equal to, this is the u by g, so this is the 3.78, this is the 3.78, so this is the 3.8. Okay, now we have to draw vt graph. The velocity gain is 42 meter per second. So from 0 to 42 meter per second at that time, this is the 4.2 second. Now another 3.8 second from this to this, again the velocity becomes 0. So look at this, this is the 4.2 and this is the 3.8. So this is the 8 second. Okay, now this is the 8 second. After 8 second, it again reaches the ground. This is the again, look at this, 3.8. So this is the 11.8. Okay, now this is the 11.8, and after this the velocity again decreased by 10%. So look at this, the velocity becomes, so the graph start from here, okay, so this position. Finally graph becomes from this position to this, then this, then this, then this to this. Okay, understood? This is the vt graph for 0 to 12 second. Understood? Look at this. A ball is projected vertically upward with velocity 20 meter per second from the height of 25 meter from the ground. Now we have to calculate the maximum height ascent by the particle and total time of flight. Now look at this, the maximum height h dash, this equals to u square by 2g plus height of the building. Now here u equal to 20 whole square divided by 2 into 10, so plus 25. So this is the 20 into 20 divided by 20 plus 25. Okay, so this is the 45 meter is the maximum height ascent from the ground. Now time of flight. Look at this, if this is the origin, look at this, if this is the origin and this direction is the positive direction, so look at this, here y equal to minus 25. Okay, and g equal to, look at this, this is the minus 10 meter per second square, this is the meter. Okay, now use the formula y equals to ut plus half gt square. Now look at this, y equals to, this is the minus 25, this is the u into t, and look at this, this is the minus half into 10 into t square. So look at this, this is the minus 25 equal to u equal to 20 into t minus 5t square. So look at this, this is the 5t square minus 20t plus minus 25, this equal to 0. Okay, look at this, this is the t square minus 40 minus 5 equal to 0. So t minus, so t minus 5 into t plus 1, this equal to 0, therefore t equal to 5. So look at this, the time of flight is equal to 5 seconds. Okay, understood? Now Galileo law of odds, that is height fall by particle in first second second second, third second, fourth second is in the ratio 1:3:5. Now look at this. We know the yn equals to, look at this, we know yn equals to u plus half g into 2t minus 1. Now for a free falling body, u equal to 0 and here g equal to suppose 5 and g is equal to 10 meter per second square. Now y1, that is height descent in first second. So look at this, this is the 0 plus half into 10 and this is the 2 into 1 minus 1. So this is the 5 meter. Now y2, look at this, this is the 0 plus half into 10 into 2 into 2 minus 1. So look at this, this is the 3, so this is the 15 meter. Now y3, this is the 0 plus half into 10 into 2 into 3 minus 1. So look at this, this is the 5 and 5, so this is the 25 meter. Therefore y1 is to y2 is to y3 dot 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 equal to 1 is to 5 is to 15 is to 25, that is 1 is to 3 is to 5. Okay, this is known as Galileo's law of odds, that is height ascent in first second, second second, third second, fourth second is in the ratio 1:3:5:7. Okay, now NCERT numerical 3.27. This is the speed time graph. Look at this, the maximum speed 12 meter per second at t equal to 5 seconds and 0 speed at t equal to 0 and t equal to 10. Now we have to calculate the distance covered from t equal to 0 to t equal to 10 seconds and between t equal to 2 to t equal to. In a straight line motion, we know the distance covered is equal to area of the speed time graph. So look at this, the distance is equal to area of this graph. Area, this is the base and this is the altitude. So base is the 10 and altitude is the 12. So this is the 60 meter is the distance covered by the particle. This is the at t equal to 2 and at t equal to 6. Look at this, this is the t equal to, look at this, this is the t equal to 6. Now we have to calculate the area between t equal to 2 to t equal to 6. Now look at this, the area of this portion is equal to total area minus area of this portion minus area of this portion. Look at this, now what is the magnitude of acceleration? Look at this, the magnitude of acceleration becomes, this is the 12 by 5, so this is the 2.4 meter per second square. Now look at this, the velocity after 2 seconds, so this is the 4.8. Okay, look at this, this is the 0 velocity, look at this, the 0 velocity, so velocity after 4 seconds, this becomes 4 into, this is the 2.4, so this is the 9.6 meter per second square. Okay, now the distance covered between t equal to 2 to t equal to 6 is equal to total area, this is the 60 minus area of this portion. Look at this, area of this portion, this is the half into base is the 2 into altitude 4.8 minus, look at this, area of this portion. Look at this, this is the base is the 4 minus base is the 4, 6 to 10, 4, altitude 9.6. So this is the 4 into 9.6. So look at this, this is the 60 minus 4.8 and minus, look at this, this is the 2 to cancel out. So this is the 19.2. Okay, so 60 minus, this is the 24. So total distance covered is, this is the 36 meter. Okay, understood? Now relative velocity in a straight line. Suppose two particles A and B, they are moving with velocity VA along this direction and B also moving along this direction with velocity VB. Now relative velocity of A with respect to B, this is the VAB. so VA minus VB, okay, in the direction of this vector. Now, relative velocity of B with respect to A, this is the VB minus VA, okay, understood? If they are moving in the opposite direction, so look at this, now relative velocity of A with respect to B, that is the VAB, so this is the VA minus VB, so this is the VA plus VB, okay. Now relative velocity of B with respect to A, this is the minus VB minus VA, so this is the minus VA plus VB within the bracket, okay, understood? Now we have to draw xt graph of two particles moving in the same direction with same velocity. Now look at this, this is the xt graph, okay, this is the x and this is the t. So look at this, they are moving in the same direction, so suppose this is the A. Now this is the B, this is the B. Look at this, the graphs are as the velocity same, so xt graph becomes parallel, so they never meet with each other, okay. If they are moving in the different direction, so look at this, suppose velocity of A greater than velocity of B, so look at this, they meet at this point. If this is the time t equal to t naught, so at the point t naught they meet with each other, okay. Look at this, if A and B are moving in the opposite direction, so look at this, one velocity is positive and other velocity becomes negative, so they meet at this point, okay. So they meet at this point. If t equal to t naught, so at the time t equal to t naught they meet with each other, and their position or meeting point of the position is x equal to x naught, okay, understood? Now numerical. Look at this, a jet airplane moves 500 meter per second with respect to the ground, and the speed of the combustible gas with respect to the jet plane is 1500 meter per second. We have to calculate the velocity of the combustible gas with respect to the ground. Look at this, the jet plane and combustible gas are moving in opposite direction. So look at this, VCJ is equal to VC minus VJ. This equal to 1500. So VC equal to V 1500. Now VC equals to 1500 minus VJ. Now Vj is equals to 500, so 1500 minus 500, so this is the 1000 meter per second with respect to the ground. So velocity of the combustible gas is 1000 meter per second with respect to the ground, okay. Look at this, two trains A and B are moving with 72 km per hour. 72 km per hour means this is the 20 meter per second. The driver of B decides to overtake A. The driver accelerates with the driver of B accelerates with 1 meter per second square to overtake A. Find initial distance between the two trains if now in 50 seconds the guard of B brushes the guard of A. Find initial distance of separation. So look at this, the relative velocity of B with respect to A, this is the 20 minus 20, so this is the 0. Therefore, initial distance, this is the 0 into t plus half into, this is the 1 into 50 square. So look at this, this is the half into 2500, so this is the 1250 meter. So the distance between the guard of A and guard of B is the 1250 meter, okay, understood? Look at this, on two-lane road A and B are moving in the same direction and A ahead of B, their speed is 10 meter per second and its speed is 15 meter per second, and C in the other lane coming from opposite direction has velocity 15 meter per second. Now normally C overtakes A first, then B overtake. Now B decides that B overtakes A before C. What is the acceleration of B? Now, relative velocity of B with respect to A, this is the 15 minus 10, so this is the 5 meter per second. Relative velocity of C with respect to A, this is the 15 minus 10, so this is the 25 meter per second. So, time to overtake A by C, this equals to distance divided by relative speed. What is the relative speed? This is the 25. So this is the 40 second. B has to overtake A just before 40 second. So look at this. This is the initial distance. This is the 1000 meter. Now relative velocity. This is the 5 into t plus half into A into t square. T is the 40. So look at this, this is the 1000 is 5 into this is the 40 plus half into A into this is the 40 square. Okay. Now this is the 1000 equal to 200 and this is the half into A into 1600. So look at this, 1000 minus 200, this is the 800. So 800 equals to 800 A, therefore A equal to 1. Therefore acceleration of B is 1 meter per second square. Okay. Now between town A and B, a regular bus service in the time interval of capital T from either side. A cyclist move from A to B observes that the bus behind him overtakes 18 minutes and bus in front overtakes in 6 minutes. Find the velocity of bus and time period of bus service. Okay, now look at this. The distance between the two bus, this is equal to VB into T by 60 kilometer. Now, the velocity of bus with respect to cyclist is, this is the VB minus 20 behind from him, and the bus in front of him have relative velocity VBC, this is the VB plus 20 kilometer per hour. Okay. Now this distance is covered by bus behind from him in 18 minutes, and the bus in front of him overtake this distance in 6 minutes with this speed. So look at this, the distance VB into T by 60, this equals to VB minus 20, this is the 18 minutes, so 18 by 60, and this is the VB plus 20 and this is the 6 by 60. Okay, understood? Equating this and this, we get, look at this, this is the VB minus 20 and this is the 18 equal to VB plus 20, this is the 6 by 18. Now look at, now equating this term and this term, look at this, VB minus 20 and this is the 18 by 60 and this is the VB plus 20 and this is the 6 by 60. Now this and this cancel out. Now this and this is the 3. So look at this, 3 VB minus 60 equal to VB plus this is the 20. Look at this, 3 VB minus VB, this equals to 80. Therefore 2 VB equals to 80. Therefore VB equals to 40. So velocity of bus, so speed of bus is equal to 40 km per hour. Now to calculate time t, equate this. So look at this, this is the VB into T by 60, this equals to VB minus 20 and this is the 18 by 60. Look at this, 60 cancel out. Now this is the 40 into t, and this is the 40 minus 20, and this is the 18. So look at this. This is the 40 into t into 20 into 18. So t equals to 9. So the interval between two buses is 9 minutes. Okay. Look at these two stones are projected vertically upward from a tower of height 200 meter with speed 15 meter per second and 30 meter per second. Now we have to draw a graph between relative position of two particles with time. Now first of all, the equation of motion. For the first particle, x1 equal to 200 plus 15t minus half into 10 into t square. So look at this is the 200 plus 15t minus 5t square. And for the second particle, t2 equals to 200 plus 30t minus 5t square. Okay. First of all, we have to calculate the time of motion of first and second particle. When first particle reaches the ground, x1 equal to 0. Now look at this. This is the 0 equal to 200 plus 15t minus 5t square. So look at this. This is the 5t square minus 15t plus minus 200. This equal to 0. So t square minus 3t minus this is the 40. This equal to 0. 5 into 8 40. So look at this, t minus 8 into t plus 5, this equal to 0. So t plus 5 not 0, therefore t equal to 8. Therefore time of flight of the first particle is 8 seconds. In the same way, we have to calculate the time of flight of the second particle. 0 equal to 200 plus 30t minus 5t square. So look at this. This is the t square minus 60 minus 40. This equal to 0. Now this can be written as t minus 10 into t plus 4. This equal to 0. So t plus 4 not 0. So t equal to 10 seconds. Therefore time of journey of first particle is 8 seconds and time of journey of second particle is 10 seconds. So in first 8 seconds, their relative position x equals to x2 minus x1. So look at this minus this. So this is the 15t. And the maximum separation becomes at 8 equal to t second, that is x max. This is equal to 15 into 8. So this is the 120 meter. Okay. So look at this. In first 8 seconds, the path becomes straight line path. Look at this. The relative separation x is equal to x2 minus x1. So this is the straight line path. Look at this. X equals to 15 into t. This is the t equal to 8 seconds. And after 8 seconds, the first particle is on the ground. So their relative position is equal to only x2. So look at this. This graph becomes the parabola. Okay, this is the 10 second. Understood? Next. Many thanks for watching this video. This video will be extremely helpful for you for your preparation in class 11 exam, NEET, Main and Advanced. Please like, comment and share on this. And if you are new, don't forget to subscribe my channel to get the new video to boost up your preparation.